Can we get everybody to be seated, please? As Tom Dreesen says, shh. Hi, I'm Steve Quigley. I'm the president of Valley View School Board. I want to welcome everybody here today. Glad the snowstorm that we had today is not like the one we had 3 weeks ago. Otherwise, I think this room would be a lot more empty. And we're all glad you're here, and I want to say welcome. I'm really looking forward to today. I'm looking forward to what Principal Mitchem, soon-to-be Superintendent Mitchem, has to say. Before we get all that started, I'd like to have the Romeoville ROTC bring up the presentation of the colors, please. At this time, I'm going to ask Ron Bowl, school board member, to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ronnie. How about a round of applause for our Color Guard award-winning ROTC guys? Thank you. I'm going to real briefly introduce all the folks on the stage today, and in no particular order, just the way that they were signed up, I suppose. First of all, actually you'll be last because even though you're first. Dr. Phil Schofstall, Superintendent of Valley View Schools, a true gentleman in the field of education. I was in the parking lot and I got a phone call from Senator Wilhelmy. As you know, things going on in Springfield with the recently announced budget cuts. AJ is in leadership and he has been asked to sit in on some of those conversations. So he sends his regrets and thanks you all for your service. And I'm going to save this guy for a little while later, too. Deputy Mayor Leroy Brown. Deputy Bolingbrook Mayor Leroy Brown. Township Supervisor Bill Mayer. My fellow board members, Jim Curran, Vice President. I don't see Liz, but I'm sure she's probably on her way. Her and her hat will be here soon. Board member Michael Evans. Board Member Rick Gugis. Number 29 in your hearts, number 1 in your program, Board Member Ronnie Bull. And the newest appointee to the Valley View School Board, Leo Venegas, even though it's been a while, but Leo Venegas. Our Assistant Superintendents, Gary Gazafi. Faith Dahlquist. And our HR Director, Sharon Hawks. And a guy I got to know pretty well in Springfield, and I've gotten to know him better since he's been back in Will County, and that's County Executive Larry Walsh. Representative Emily McCasey also sends her regrets. She is in session trying to figure out what that budget mess they have down there is. I left a couple people out for obvious reasons. The one thing that communities have, whether they want it or not, is a reputation, good, bad, otherwise. And the reputation of schools carries the reputation of the community. We have 2 schools in our district that are high schools that are named after our communities. And you will never find 2 people who are more in love with their communities and more interested in what goes on at their schools, although they're not part of that system, but they are very deeply entrenched in that system of education and belief in their community. One of them is here today, and that is Mayor John Noak, the mayor of Romeoville. And the other is Mayor Clare, and he is at a meeting that he could not get out of because he's trying to find some budget money too. So wish Mayor Clare well as well. Briefly, when we started the search for a superintendent, we had applicants from all over the country. We had people from New Mexico, Colorado, I think California, New Jersey, all kinds of qualified applicants. We came to the conclusion as a board and as a committee, a search committee, that the best person for the position was right under our nose. He had 27 years experience in our district. His passion for education, his passion for this community that he serves is not to be challenged by anyone. I see him at a lot of events. He doesn't necessarily need to be. I had the privilege of watching him give a partial presentation on what we're going to see here today on Sunday. He did an outstanding job. It is clear that his belief in the children and the belief in the educators that we have in our system, that we can do better by our children, and you can do better professionally. And our job as a board is to provide you that tool or those tools. And I think that Jim Mitchem is going to be the person who's going to help us and provide us with the guidance that we need as a board, that you may need as educators and principals and what have you. And I think we're going to be very impressed with what he has to say. I know I believe in what he's trying to accomplish, and I hope that you all will too by the end of the day or the end of the speech, and maybe by the end of the month and the end of the year and so on and so forth. Very rarely will you find somebody who has put himself out there and said, I will be accountable. Not for that person or that person or that person. I will be accountable for every person, every student, every teacher, every administrator, every bus driver, every janitor, every security officer. Jim Mitchem, you have one charge. When we had the conversation, build your staff, refine your replacement, which will probably be the most difficult thing we told him he would have to do. And Fabi told me the other day, I said, Jim's got size 15 shoes, and you'll know why when he stands up, because if they're any smaller, he'd fall over. But Fabi says, I got size 12s. I said, that's close, that's probably close enough. But with that, I give you Principal Jim Mitchem.
Thank you very much. Before we begin, I wanted to thank a few people myself that have been very important to me and have mentored me and helped me to this position. that I humbly accepted from the Board of Education in October. First, I'd like to thank the Romeoville High School staff for hosting this event. This took a lot of work. As you can see, I thank the bus drivers and the bus barn and all the people who put this together and made it easy for me to just walk in the doors and speak to you. So thank you to those people. I'd also like to thank the Board of Education for offering me this position, which again I humbly accepted, and I hope to do right by you and the community and the students that we serve. So thank you, Board of Education for Valley View School District. I'd also like to thank Faith Dahlquist for her tireless effort she has put in for this district. K-5 and then K-12. She will be missed, and I wish her well in her future endeavors in Wheaton. And I thank you, Faith Dahlquist, for all of you've done for this district. Next, I would like to thank from the bottom of my heart Bolingbrook High School, for which I would not be here today without their efforts. Leadership is not a position, it's a calling, and you don't lead by having a position, you lead as a result of people choosing to follow. I walked into Bolingbrook High School 5 years ago, and I probably thought I was a little nuts, as many of you might think as well, but they followed me, and as a result of the fact that they had faith in my leadership, they've been able to hold serve in many areas and make increases in others. And I have a genuine, heartfelt thank you to that staff, because without them, I know that I would not be standing here today. So thank you, Bolingbrook High School, for all of your support. And finally, I'd like to thank Dr. Philip Schaafstall. Dr. Schaafstall has been a mentor to me since he's been in this district. He has, without a doubt, been the most supportive person I've ever come across in my professional career. He has given me the latitude to make decisions and do things within our building that I don't believe any other superintendent would have allowed. He will be sorely missed. His service to this district for the last 7 years has been invaluable. I only hope to move forward from where he left this district, which I believe to be in a very good place. And again, without him, without his support, without his recommendation to the school board, I do not believe again that I would be standing here. Before you clap, I don't ask for a lot, I really don't. But in this instance, I would hope that all of you would stand and clap and thank Dr. Schaafstall for what he has done for this district, and then I would afford him, if he would so choose, a couple words to say to you prior to beginning my speech. So if you would, please stand.
I'm not talking.
Thank you. Previous to that, I said I don't ask for much, and I asked for you to stand. That was just a test. I do ask for a lot. That was a good start. Anyway, why are we here today? We're here because we have major challenges in our system, and not just our system, but the whole American education system. My number one priority in this position is to serve you. I believe in the concept of servant leadership. I believe the higher up the food chain you go, the more you're called upon to serve. And it is my duty to make sure that I serve all of you in this room to ensure that you're able to serve students so that they will be able to meet the challenges of post-secondary life, whether they choose to go to college or whether they choose to go into the workforce. I pledge to you that my effort will be infinite. I do not believe that we can get this done with a finite effort. I believe our effort must be infinite, and my efforts to support you will be infinite.